Hello, my name is Ashley, this is Phothoratos, and welcome or welcome back. So a little bit of a disclaimer before I start talking about our topic today. Today is going to be a hot day here in the UK, so we do have the aircon on. So if you can hear that, I apologise. I'm hoping that my mic picks up my voice and not the aircon. Today's topic is 5 things I do as a rat breeder that some people might find controversial and why I do them. So let's get into it. The first thing that I do as a rat breeder is I never breed just for the sake of it. My pairings are very, 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 very thought out. I plan timings, I plan pairings. I am really, really focused on making sure my pairings are compatible to each other, to make sure that they complement each other's strengths and weaknesses, that I'm not breeding 2 faults together, that just in general the litter is going to produce good outcomes. I'm never breeding just for profit, for other people to have rats as pets, though when I do have rats available after what I need to keep, of course I'm going to give those out to pet homes. But I'm never breeding for the sake of it to please other people. I'm never breeding just because I can. I'm always making very, very thought out decisions when it comes to breeding anything. I am always planning very far in advance and very meticulously. And I don't believe that breeding for profit of any animal is ethical. It feels really icky to me, and so I don't do that. The second thing is every single rat that I breed and that is homed out always, always, always has a place back with me. Whether the owners just don't want rats anymore, whether they have a change in their life circumstance, whether they become allergic, literally any reason that anybody could want to or have to rehome their pets, my rats are always welcome back with me. I may sometimes, if I'm very full at the time, take them in, foster them, and then rehome them again to somebody else on my approved list. However, I will always be there for my rats whenever they need me, no matter where in the country they are. If my rat needed me and it was up at the tippy top of Scotland, I would get myself there to get that rat. If a rat of mine ended up in a rescue, I would fight tooth and nail to get that rat out of the rescue and back in my possession. I feel so strongly about my duty as a breeder to them. I will not let my rats suffer. I will protect them. I will get them. I don't care what the reason is. I don't care where they are. I will get them. End of story. And that's not something that every single breeder does, but it's something that I will always do. The third thing is my does will always birth in Alaskas. Now, that being said, if they find it difficult to mother in a larger cage, I will slightly reduce their space to help them be more encouraged to sit on the nest. However, I won't force them to be in a tiny cage, and they will get lots of choice in terms of nests that they build. I will give them multiple different types of hides, different types of beddings and substrates to be able to build the nest that they want. I will never reduce choice for my mothers just because. Obviously, you have to have some discretion and think about the safety of the babies and the mother involved. But I will never just reduce the space that my does have just for the sake of it, to make it easier, to make it more, I don't know, easier for me to deal with. My mothers are still rats and they deserve the time, the space, the energy, all of that, and they will always get that. The fourth thing that I do as a breeder is I handle the babies from day one. Now, this comes with a caveat that I will not stress the mums out too much and I will not handle them in front of her. I think that's kind of rude. I will make sure she's distracted by either being in the cage with her friends, being on free roam, some food, and I will make sure I'm not doing it in front of her, especially in those early days, but I will handle from day one. This is really, really important to be able to keep track of everybody, to make sure that everybody is still thriving, that nobody is falling behind and needs extra support. This is really, really important. And whilst the handling at such a young age is not necessarily going to help them with socialization. I do think that when it comes to a point where handling does help their socialization, they are already used to being handled and it's really not a big deal for them. And I have been told by my pet homes and other breeders who currently have some of my rats that my rats are so people focused. They are first to the cage bars, they love their people, they are very, very affectionate. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think I have any super cuddly rats, but my rats are very people focused, very people oriented, fun, active, and interactive rats. And I do believe part of that is to how much time I spend with them, even from day one. And I will continue to do that because I do think it gives them the best setup for a very fulfilled and happy and calm life as they go to new homes, if they do. And the fifth thing that I'm going to mention in this video that I do as a rat breeder is I will always coincide litters. So this means this between rats on my own rattery, so I'll be breeding 2 or 3 litters at a time, and also, depending on the situation, I will be coinciding litters with other breeders that I know in case anything happens to the mum, whether she dies for whatever reason, or her milk supply isn't very good, or she's not a very good mother. Having other litters where you can help with fostering is very, very important. And sometimes rats don't take. You can pair up 3 litters and only one of them takes. And if that one litter has an issue, it's really helpful to have other breeders to fall back on in case you do need support. And so that is always something that I'm going to do, is coincide litters. And this might be a bit controversial to people who come from other species where breeding 2 litters of dogs, say, for example, at once, just for the sake of it, is a bit much, and it's not something that dog breeders would do, but it is something that I would do. And it's really, really important. And yeah, that is the video for today. Just a little short one since it's going to be so hot here and I've got lots of stuff to do this afternoon as well as edit this video. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this gave you a good insight into what type of breeder I am and how I view my responsibility to my rats. And yeah, if you want to stick around, subscribe. I make videos about my breeding journey and all that type of stuff, but I do make educational content, I make vlogs, and I make sit-down videos talking about my experiences like this one. So if this interests you, please do stick around. You can also become a channel member. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.